It's 2:13 a.m. You refresh the screen, staring at a timestamp that hasn't moved in hours. Your brain immediately goes to work building an alibi for them. They must be asleep. They left it in another room. They are simply too busy. Hearing someone tell you they no longer care is devastating, but it is finite. You know exactly where you stand. Silence, on the other hand, leaves you suspended. Psychologists call this an information vacuum. A clear rejection provides a closed loop. You act, they respond, you process it. But when you get nothing back, that loop stays broken. The brain hates missing data, filling empty branches with the heaviest material, self-blame. Because there is no definitive end to the interaction, you don't get to close the book. Instead, you are forced to keep writing the ending yourself, over and over again. Every past hour acts as an accelerant, becoming an active critique of your worth. You retrace every conversation. Did I say too much? Was I too available? You scan past behavior for the exact moment you ruined everything, generating endless theories. In this state of suspension, the mind searches for a variable to change. You convince yourself identifying the exact error in your behavior will reverse the outcome. You convince yourself this is just a temporary pause in the relationship. You don't realize they have already quietly walked out the back door. The pain sharpens the next morning. You open your phone to find your private messages remain empty, while their public feed is fully alive. They are posting updates, laughing with friends, and, most confusingly, still watching your stories. They are digitally present in your life, yet entirely absent from your inbox. This breaks the illusion that they are simply too overwhelmed to type out a text. The evidence is right in front of you. They have the time, they have the phone in their hand, and they have the energy. They are deliberately assigning you the lowest possible priority. This dynamic traps you in a hope prison. You are pouring immense energy into analyzing their every move, while they are expending zero effort just idly tapping a screen. Yet you view that tiny blip of attention as proof they still care. Trading a high-value emotional investment for their low-effort digital breadcrumbs results in total exhaustion. This is the act of begging for acknowledgement disguised as a connection. To break out of this cycle, you have to look at what actually builds a functional connection. A stable dynamic operates on highly visible metrics. Effort is consistent and reliable. Care is demonstrated through action, and respect is actively maintained, meaning your time and peace of mind are treated with value. Silence provides none of these. When one withdraws those pillars, the structure violently collapses. You cannot balance a connection on one person's effort. Trying to hold up both sides by yourself doesn't prove loyalty. It guarantees your emotional exhaustion. If consistent presence is the primary way we measure love, then prolonged, deliberate silence is the clearest proof that the love has left the room. That realization is where the waiting finally ends. You step out of the mental fog and see the situation exactly for what it is. You stop categorizing their silence as confusion or a mixed signal. You accept that silence itself is the answer. It is a loud, definitive statement about where you stand. It means learning to trust the behavior they are showing you right now, rather than clinging to the promises they made 3 months ago. Closure is often chased as a final conversation or an apology, but those require the silent party to provide data. If the silence is the data, then the information vacuum is already full. You stop waiting for a period at the end of their sentence and simply put the pen down yourself. Accepting that silence is the final piece of evidence allows you to walk away from the wait. You recognize that the suspension was self-imposed by the hope for more information, and you finally stop checking for it. True closure is an action. It happens the moment you decide to turn off the notifications, stop checking their activity status, and permanently sever the digital tether holding you back. You establish a non-negotiable boundary for how you allow yourself to be treated. If you have to beg for basic respect and attention, it is already time to leave. Walking away without a final confrontation demonstrates a shift in priority towards self-preservation. It represents the point where your peace of mind becomes more valuable than their explanation. A genuine connection will never ask you to abandon your own dignity to sustain it. When someone gives you their loudest goodbye through total silence, the strongest love you can show is the love you finally give yourself.